Okay, so just a couple things about teaching with the iPad that are a little bit beneficial in the situation that we're in right now. Pretty much for all of my classes, I have a Google Classroom set up. And what I do is I create an assignment. So here, what I would do is if I made some work, I would create an assignment, and I would just make it like drop space for week 4 assignment. Essentially what we're doing is I'm giving the students a place to drop their work. Anything that I'm checking or anything that I want them to submit to see if they have some understanding, they're putting into that drop space. They're either writing it on their computer or they're taking a picture of their work and then just submitting the picture in. If you look at this, so this is just an iPad session I was running. I had one of the teachers just submit a blank form. Now up in the top right corner there's that little pencil. So if one of my students submitted an essay or a picture of a question or something like that, I would click on that pencil. What it actually does is it creates a PDF. So now I can mark right on the PDF, so no essay, write more. I can write right on the PDF and give them live feedback as though I was writing on an actual piece of paper. Okay, it's a lot easier to comment on that rather than having to write out a paragraph explaining where they've gone wrong and how they've gone wrong. So if they had something like x plus 2, x minus 3, and they expanded it to x squared minus 6, you could say missing middle term. Okay, because missing middle term. Because they didn't do FOIL. Okay, things like that. All right, so we'll just save that. And what it does is it saves a PDF version of their work. So now when I hit the X in the top corner, if I were to return this, Matt Yeaman's going to see his essay. It's going to be there, but there's also going to be a PDF. So it's going to have all of the responses that I just gave him on that PDF. So if I click on it, there's the PDF, no essay, write more, and I wrote that little equation. Okay, that's one way that is really easy and it's quick feedback. It allows a teacher to actually write right on top of what the students have done as though they're submitting a question. Okay, something else that I find really helpful is I get a lot of students emailing me their work that like I didn't understand 3B or something like that. A lot of the times the questions all come from the same page. If you have a PDF version of the textbook, it's really nice. What I like to do with my PDF versions is I actually take a picture or a screenshot of the PDF. So I have like a bunch of questions here. But then what I do, so the iPad's unique, is that so I have my picture open, if I just put my finger on the bottom of the screen and slide up, a bunch of things kind of open up. So now I'm going to hold my finger down on the notes, which is the far right icon, and I'm going to drag it over on the screen. So now I actually have the question open, and I'm going to go back to notes, and you can actually see that I've written a whole bunch of notes like this back to students. A whole bunch of different notes back to students, back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to create a new note. And then I can just do a question. So I'm going to start writing with the pencil. And it allows me to actually write right on the page with the pencil. Okay, if I wanted to erase that, I click the eraser, back to a pen. And then I can write things like, I don't know, tan x, tam. So I would make that a little neater. So tan x equals -1. And then I would go through how to solve that, so your quadrants and everything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot it. So I'm clicking the top button and the home button. And I would just crop my solution. Click done. Save to photos. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either just open up your email and send an email by hitting the plus, typing in your email, or you can go into your photo. So I'm going to close out my screen there. I'm going to go back to my photos. I'm going to go to my new photo and clicking that in the top right corner, there's that arrow up around a box. If I click that, it gives me a whole bunch of options on how I can send this. I can go down to Gmail, and now it's right in the Gmail. So to Mr. Shaw or whoever I want to send it to. And then I type in my subject, here's the solution to the question you're working on. It's just a couple quick ways that I like to use the iPad to help me out when I'm teaching.